Hi, good evening. My name is Harold Lazarus. I'm a narcissistic, abuse, traumatized, abuse survivor. And um, I'm ready to be new to this channel. I've been wrestling with making a video for some time now, because, um, the enemy, the devil, has been trying to stop me from making this video because, I have something to help you people, to help us all who has been traumatized by a narcissist. I was with a narcissist for a number of years, and I've also had a family with her. She was a covert narcissist, a very good one, very skilled, very seductive, very confident, and she was extremely good at manipulation, good at their trade. She's nearly 40 years old, and I was like putty in her hands. So, I have some really good news for you guys. I really believe that we was the best thing that ever happened to them. I'm telling you, they couldn't have had anyone better than than what they've had. They've had a good thing going. They had the very best that could have helped them, that could have built a good life if you share the same mind. We went into this because we wanted a future with these people that we thought loved us and wanted the same thing, and we was of the same mind. Unfortunately, we wasn't. We was never, ever was of the same mind. And so really what I want to tell you is that we was the best thing that ever happened to them. Believe me. And the thing about it is, we wasn't meant to really have a permanent life with them, the kind of life that we wanted. We love these guys so much because they really gave us something that we've always wanted. And I know we empaths comes from different background and been through different experiences, and I'm sure we're able to relate to experiences we've had, over the years since we've been since childhood. Down the line, I'll share many of that, but I'm quite sure that many of us have shared and experienced the same thing in our family life and with friends. And those of us who have experienced this with narcissists can look back in our lives and we can see maybe times when we have come across narcissists, but we didn't know what they were. We may even come across them in our own families, but we just thought there was something wrong with them and excuse it away, thinking it was normal. It was a normal thing, a normal behavior for a family member to behave them ways. And I've learned a great deal about that. But I've been thinking a lot about the narcissist. I've gone no contact with mine. And the thing about it is this: there are children involved in this. Like I say, I've decided to kind of put that aside for the moment, because while I get healed, while I recovered, it's like, and it seems harsh, but it's important that we recover so we have a clear mind and can be strong in taking on taking on those responsibilities and facing that battle when it comes. So I've decided not to approach her regarding access to the children. And I'm telling you, I'm sure a lot of you that can relate to this, not having access to your children, to see your children. It's painful. I sometimes watch videos. I've got hundreds of videos and photographs of the time we've spent together, and we know that during those times they didn't have much to do with the kids. I know mine didn't. I was with our children from the time she gave birth, and I was with her at her birth, at the kids' birth as well. But during the after that, it was solely with the children most of the time. She may have spent a few minutes with them. And don't get me wrong, you know, she would buy the most expensive clothes for them and clothe them and and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, what the children want most of all, they wasn't getting it. And that's kind of a personal thing with them, you know, to have their parents focus on them and spend time with them as much as possible. But it wasn't to be asked for most of the time with them. So you can imagine how much I feel not able to see them, not able to be with them, not able to hug them. I mean, it's crazy. You know, I remember when the last day before and it's funny enough, I went I think I went no contact, maybe 3 or 4, 3 months, no, 5 months before their birthday. And I broke that no contact because it was their birthday and I thought I'll go and see the children. And I remember when I went to see them, my son, who was crying, because they're twins, one is a girl, one is a boy. My son was crying. She had him in her arms and she gave him to me. And when she gave him to me, he rested his head on my shoulder like this. And honestly, I can never forget that picture since I left. It didn't went down very well after that because you know what narcissists are. When she was at a very low point, and it was very obvious. She was miserable. It looks like, I mean, she just looked like she was in some sort of depression because a few hours later, she had an artistic rage, what I call a demonic rage, really, because it's not human rage they have. I don't, you know, to me it's obvious that it's demonic. This is a rage that comes deep from in them, from out of them, and it comes to them, and it's like it just fills them, and even the tone of the whole atmosphere change. Yeah, but getting back to what I was saying, you know, I think we're the best thing that ever happened to them. No one, they cannot have, they will never have what we had to give them. And you know, we don't want to feel. I remember when it ended, that when I realized that these guys, these evil things, was acting when it was all pretense, and I couldn't, you know, it took me some time to get my head around that because so much was said. We have so much intimacy. There's so much was said. We visit so many places. We travel abroad. You know, I mean, it's just so difficult to believe that such a people existed, and the only time this person that you thought loved you, and you gave your heart to, you welcome them in open arms and give yourself to them, that they were just acting and taking you for a ride. Behind your back, they was cheating on you. They're compulsive liars. They cheat, they lie, they scheme all kind of stuff. I'm telling you now, there is things that they've done, that they've schemed and done behind your back. You don't know it yet. You won't know it yet, but you will do on your journey of healing and recovery. You will see things that you begin to understand and see things that they did. You know, but the thing about it is, we were the very best for them. They will not get any better. The next supply that they have, that they you know, the next prime supply that they have get in their lives, not going to go down well. They won't be as good as us. We gave them what another person needs in a loving relationship. We was willing to give, you know, fulfillment. We were able to love them and to try and make them happy, to try and excite them and to help them and to encourage them and, you know, to share life together and have your moments of fun and kindness. All these things we had. I gave myself completely to her. I was so taken in by her that, man, I would have done anything for that woman. I mean, I literally, you know, when she put me to sleep, I kind of went all out. I almost got to the point of almost worshiping this woman. I mean, I couldn't understand. Well, I understand now, but the time you've been manipulated, you're in a false world. You're in a world of illusion, and you're sleeping. So you're just doing everything. You're tolerating what they're doing. I mean, I know my narcissist was cheating. At least about a month before I went no contact, I realized he was cheating, and I didn't approach her about it. I didn't discuss it with her, but it was obvious. It was obvious to me she was cheating, and I'm glad. I'm the type of guy, and I think a lot of us empaths are like that. We kind of keep certain things to ourselves, and we don't question it so much because we love this person so much, and we don't want to start a battle. So we kind of keep quiet and wait for a moment to discuss it at the right time. And that time never seemed to ever come, But I didn't approach, and I think that's a victory to me, because she would have liked me to approach her, because they get fuel from that, they fuel themselves, they get a kick out of you questioning them and being jealous and show signs of jealousy and all this, because they feed off it like a parasite. But they are evil people. One of the things that my narcissist did, and I couldn't understand it at the time, I wouldn't believe it. It's only about 3 weeks ago I found this out, and I've been in no contact for the past 5-6 months. It's only about 3 days ago this came to me. We was invited. Well, I thought we was invited to see our pastor. We joined this local church. Long story, but she kind of took us away from where it was into they kind of get to a place of isolation where you don't know anyone and no friends, no family. So they take you somewhere, maybe did a side of England, or did a side of the country. And so she did that. She rang me up one day at work and said, "Oh, I found a property. We're going." And I said, "Okay." But they take you far away. So anyway, we end up in this place, and we find a local church. The thing about it is, these narcissists, they behave like the Christian. They tell you how wonderful they love God, and because I love Jesus, by the way, guy. I love him so much. He's the most wonderful thing in my life. He's been there even when I didn't ask for him. But God has been with me throughout my life, and I'm here today able to make this video today because he's the one that set me free and delivered me from this evil. But one of the things that narcissists do is to tell you how religious they are, and they're very good at that as well. They will go to church with you. They will have people pray over them. They will even read the Bible, and they'll give you the impression that they're with you there. But you know something? Their father, the devil, he knows the Bible. He quoted to Jesus a few times. And, so they're very good at, they're very good at acting and pretending that they're loving and caring Christian people, and they love people, and they love you, and they love themselves, and they love children, and want to have a family. This is all lies. There's no truth in it, guys. No truth in it, and I'm sure many of you realize that now. But I want you to feel good in yourself, because they have, whether you discard them or not, or they discard you, they have lost the best that they'll ever get. And so we met these pastors, and she told me one day, she said, "Oh, they've invited us around for to come and meet them." Excuse me, some coffee. Thanks. She told us how they've invited us around, to have a chat and coffee and so on. So I said, "Oh, that's fantastic." Anyway, we went around, and they took some time answering the door, and eventually they did. And we went inside, and we sat, and there were moments of silence. Nothing no offered, like normally when we've been there times before, they offer you a cup of coffee or something like that. They offer you something, or they would start being very talkative and stuff. But on this particular day, they wasn't very talkative, and they wasn't saying much. And after a few minutes, after about 20 minutes, I said, "Oh, we're gonna go now." And he said, "Fine, blah blah blah." So as I was going out, as we got back to the car, me and the narcissist was talking, and I said, "That's really strange. It just was strange. I mean, I'm wondering why we came." And anyway, we let that go. But 3 or 4 days ago, that bothered me so much. That was on the back of my mind all the time. So I thought, let me call the pastor and ask him, what did they invite us? I should have done that in the first place. So I called him, and he said, no, they did not invite us. And I've checked with my wife, and they haven't. She hasn't invited. They didn't. She didn't have no. She didn't invite us neither. Because I texted him a day or two before a call, and so I realized that the narcissist lied to me and told me that they wanted they made an invitation for us to come around, and I can only imagine the reason why she did that was for fuel, was to create some kind of atmosphere, some kind of some kind of whatever she decided to. She had a plan to. She had a motive to that, and I'm sure it was. It's quite obvious, it was for her benefit, but she got nothing out of it. Because I think, what they do, they tend to underestimate us empaths. They really do. They don't know you. They don't know the person. They may have learned things about you. They may have learned your kindness. They may have learned all kind of wonderful we are as empaths, but they don't know the true person in us. And so I didn't make a big deal of it. I didn't bring it up or anything like that. So in many ways, I can think back, I can see where my narcissist was really, she was at her lowest at times, because I didn't give a reaction to many of the instances that she created that she wanted a reaction to. And I had no idea that she was a narcissist at these times. Because all I was thinking about was I love this woman and I want this relationship to work, and I was just waiting for the moment, for the opportunity where we could talk and going in depth about what the problem was. So I was just waiting for the right time. So during that time I was tolerating a lot of these nonsense that they do to you, like gaslighting, and future faking and all these things that they do, and but yeah, they will never have a better person than they did in you. We was willing to make it happen. In fact, I said to my narcissist, I said, something, I don't know what it is. This one when I first met her, because she was beautiful, intelligent, warm and kind. I mean, there were red flags there. I just didn't see, because all these wonderful things was coming at me. And, she just kind of won me over. I mean, almost in an instant. And I said to her, I don't know what is it about you. This is what I said to her. I don't know what is it about you, but I just feel I want to make good to you, And I repeated that in the next several months to her, right up until she said, let's have kids, let's have a family, so it wasn't until later on that I found out that when we got into the devaluing period, that I found out that she was an evil person. I mean, evil. You can't get no evil than that. They are scheming. And let me tell you something now, right? Even those moments when you think things was fine and they was kind to you, you got for coffees or you got for lunch and dinners, even all those times that they were doing that with you, they were scheming behind your back. They were working out ways where they can hurt you. When you sit down and think about that, you know that's evil. That is just complete evil. They were scheming. They are very good at. The Bible calls them schemers. They're very skilled. The Bible says they are skilled in what they do. They're wicked and evil, and they're expert at what they do. That's why the narcissist gets away with a lot of things. They get away with most of the time. They get away with it because They're skillful at it. They're working on another level, not the normal level. They can cheat and they can, let me put it this way, right? Their lies are their truths. The lie can be so truthful that you believe it. So don't feel that they've made a fool of you. They have not made a fool of us. What they've done is abuse our trust because of how we felt about them. They were able to manipulate us and use us and give the impression that they're making a fool out of us. But let me tell you something now. They have not made a fool of us. Right? They abuse an empath. They abuse your trust and your love. Okay, that's what they've done. And if anything, they're more detrimental to themselves. Because the things they do are shameful. They're so shameful that they themselves cannot face their shame. They can't look at themselves. They can't look at the things that they do to that they've done to you, that they've done to other people. They can't look at it. You imagine it. How many men and women, these narcissists, as the lives that they've destroyed, these men and women that they've slept with along the way, gave their body to God, no respect or regard or integrity for themselves. And when you look at some of them, they're beautiful, and you think these people are wonderful and people of integrity. But but when I found out what a cheater and a liar my narcissists think, everything that I thought of her, everything, I had high, high things for her, integrity, a woman I can look up to and trust. I trust mine 100%. I trust her so much, right, that she was sleeping left, right, and center, even with my neighbor. Listen, these narcissists, they will cheat on you regardless. That neighbor can look like a disgusting person. That person can look like a person that have no value, right? And they will still cheat with them. They will still sleep with them. And let me tell you something now. The very things that they've done with you, they will do instantly with someone else. Now you think of all the intimacy you did. Think of all the intimacy and the things they did to you. What they're going to do with this person that they've hardly met and they don't know nothing about them. They're complete strangers. And all those things they're doing with that same person. This is what they think. That's why you know this is evil. You know it. You know this is disgusting and evil. They're doing the same thing with that person, all for the sake of admonition, of fuel, of attention. They have no regard for themselves. They've got no regard for themselves. They're so disgusted at themselves that they dare not face themselves. And this is what I want to say, is that these narcissists, you guys, oh man, I know that empaths are amazing people. I am an amazing guy. I know. These narcissists want to make you feel like like you're nothing, like you're useless. They really want you to destroy you. They really want to destroy you. Yeah. I'm laughing at them. And I'm hoping she will come across this video and know that this one got away. Listen, the relationship wasn't meant to last between you and the narcissist. It wasn't meant to. It wasn't meant to. Yeah? There had to be a time of love bombing, devaluing, and discard. It's a cycle. It's an illusion. It cannot get, it would not have got any better. The love bombing period, that will never, ever come back. Because that was a different person you was dealing with. And I'll tell you more about this as I go along. with these videos, that person has come, do what they all do, or should I say that spirit, come, do what they have to do, and their responsibility to love bombing. Out the way they go, in come this devaluation spirit, and now it all begins, everything goes in reverse now, and they're trying to destroy you now. Okay? And it's the most amazing thing about this is you were so good to them. You were so good to them. We were so good to these it's just, I'm not having a hard time picking a name. I just got to be, I don't want to be these evil people. These evil people. Shall I tell you something? They themselves are sleeping. Okay? They themselves are sleeping. Right? They have no control over their lives. They've got no control over their love bombing, devaluing, and discard. Okay? It's a switch that switch on and off by the thing that controls them. This is something for the next video I'm going to do. Listen, guys, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Love to see you guys again, and thank you for for listening to me. I have much to say, a great deal more to say as we go along. But listen, guys, we are survivors. And that's what, one of the strength of empathic people is that we survive. We're survivors, and you will come out of this. And I know, I'm not ignorant of the fact it takes time. It takes time. You can't rush the healing. You can't rush the recovery. Yeah? But I encourage you to trust God, to call upon the name of Jesus, because Jesus knows about these demons. And he's the one who knows to restore your soul. He's the one that gave it to you. He's the one that created you in your mother's womb. And he loves us. And he knows what you've been through. And he knows what these narcissists has done to you. And you know something? They're not going to get away with it. Okay? So listen. Thanks again. And I will see you soon. All the very best. Bye.